Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Season 2 of the M Factor. My name is Deadly and I'll be your host for this series. May I first apologise for my co-host, Dying Rock, is not here today. He's got a date with a lovely woman. We don't quite know whether it's a woman or a real date, but he's not here tonight. But we've got our 3 judges. They are back and they're going to be judging 10 awesome contestants who will be building off over the next 9 weeks with 9 different themes. Should be insane. So let's start off by introducing our 3 judges for this series. And they haven't changed much since last year, but we're going to start off with the Manic Miners, the founders of this series, and we're going to start off with the SilviaKid on the left-hand side, or your right as it is. I'm underneath the stage here, but it's awesome. So we're going to welcome the SilviaKid to the stage. Welcome, good sir. And
hello.
Cheeky Redstone there. How you doing?
How you doing, Pete? Glad to be back.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. Still no life since last year, but let's do this.
Join the club.
Join the club. So now we might as well introduce the second half of the Manic Miners, the awesome and the wonderful Scottish TheMightyBru. Hello. How's it going?
I can't believe we're actually in Season 2 of the M Factor.
It's insane. I'm actually really excited. Really excited.
But this is going to be awesome. Yeah, the stadium is just amazing. Well done, Pete.
Thank you.
It's going to be amazing. I can just feel it in my bones this time round.
Yeah. Your awesome planning will hopefully pay off. So let's invite our final judge of the evening and this series. He is the big man, the big head of YeouschCraft. He is Daz on YouTube. Hello, Daz.
I'm back.
And there goes any sort of masculinity you thought he had.
I'm just happy to be online.
Yeah. What we first mentioned is if Daz goes off tonight, if Daz suddenly disappears, he'll be out of his power would have gone. We've had really bad weather in the UK and he's losing his power, so or he hasn't put his 10p's in the meter, we don't know which.
It's not me who has internet problems, yay!
It's not the power, it's the wheelie bins flying past the window. That's what I'm worried about.
The problem is if they come through the window, then you've got a problem.
That's a good point, yeah. Double glazing, we're good.
Double glazing. So I think since we've introduced our judges, we should now move on to our contestants. So we're going to be back with a cool transition and we'll be back with our contestants. Alright, so we're back here with our contestants, guys. We're here with our first contestant. He's got the magic orange square. He's going to be represented by the colour orange in this mere competition. This is, of course, the colour I had last year, which is quite quirky, but the man standing on it today is BSG87. Welcome, good sir.
Hello.
Welcome to the M Factor. Are you excited for this awesome event?
I sort of am. More nervous than excited.
That's the sort of enthusiasm we need. So I think I should just ask you, what does BSG mean? I was thinking Big Sexy Grinch 87, but there might be a better.
We'll go with that one.
Big Sexy Grinch. Whatever floats your boat, I guess. So welcome to the competition. How far do you think you can get in this
Hopefully to the final.
Hopefully to the final.
You never know.
We got Dark Horse over here. So thank you very much and good luck.
Thanks.
So now we have our second contestant here. This is Damien TJE97. Did I get that right, sir?
No. But
No.
Dynamite.
How is it pronounced, sorry?
Just Damien 79, but 97. Sorry.
Fair enough. I'm not great at pronunciation. But awesome. Welcome to the show. How far do you think you can get in this competition?
Hopefully to the finals, but we'll see.
We'll see. He's a bit modest here, but he thinks he might be another dark horse here. He's going to be represented by the dark green here. His square will be dark green, and it should be awesome to see what you get on with. So thank you very much, and good luck.
Yep.
And we've got our third contestant of the day here, and he is going to be represented by the light blue colour, and he has a Bob the Builder outfit on because he thinks he's going to win this, and he's the bee's knees. He is, of course, a member of the YeouschCraft build team, which in theory should mean he's got a quite good chance in this competition, but he's got to live up to his reputation. We've got Tidmouth Milk 12 here. Welcome, good sir. Welcome to the M Factor. How do you feel?
Quite nervous.
How far do you think you can go in this? Let's sort of thinking about it.
Well, I'm hoping to get about halfway, but I suppose we'll just have to see how it all turns out.
Halfway. He's a bit modest. Everyone's a bit modest here. No one's going all out here, mouthing off the competition. We want some Carl Froch action going on in here. But good luck, good sir, and all the best.
Thank you very much.
And now we got our next contestant here. He's going to be represented by the dark grey here. He's going to be the really dark horse because he is wearing quite a dark. He's a dark costume here, dark colour. He's going to be here, and he's hopefully going to do very well. He's the only contestant here who took part in last series, which is pretty awesome. He's still around. He still puts up with our crap and gets on with this. Thinks he's got a chance to come around for a second time, and it is Sporja 1. I don't know if I got that right, but welcome, good sir. Welcome to the competition. How are you feeling?
I'm really excited because, well, last time was really awesome, and I'm pretty sure this one is going to be really awesome also.
Hopefully it's even better than last time. So good luck again, and all the best. I hope you go as far as you want.
Yep, thank you.
Now we have another contestant here, and he is here on the pink square. He's gone for the very ladylike colours if we're going to be all sexist like that. But we've got Glitchy Creeper 23. He in theory should be a very front runner for this tournament. He is an incredible builder. He is part of the YeouschCraft build team. Also had a big influence on the YeouschCraft survival spawn, which you may have seen recently. Hopefully it's up by the time this recording is up. But he is here, and I want to welcome him. Welcome, Glitchy Creeper.
Hi, everybody.
He's a man of many words, so we're just going to ask him, how far do you think you can go?
It depends on how far dirt houses can take me.
How far dirt houses can take you. I think he might be hiding his true ability and his true sort of ideas for this tournament, so thank you very much and good luck. And now we've got CloudStyles here. He's representing the purple, whatever. A middle-class suburban white kid should not be doing that. But welcome, Cloud. Welcome to the M Factor. How are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm glad I managed to make it today, so...
Oh, it's all there. We have been doing lots of auditions for this, and you got through very, very well. It was an awesome build you did. But how do you think you'll do in this competition? Now we're in the final stages here.
Well, I don't know about everybody else, but I'm looking to win this, so I don't really care about them.
There we go. Some fighting talk in the house here. You know, he's here laying down his gauntlet. He's like, stuff them. That $100 is mine. So thank you very much, CloudStyles, and all the best.
Thank you very much.
So now we're on to our next contestant. He's going to be here on the cyan blocks here. The nice colour, one of my favourite colours, I think. And he's going to be here. He's BeastBalla. He is also a member of the YeouschCraft build team, so hopefully he should be doing all right. And he's a new entrant to the YeouschCraft build team, so he's a bit of a dark horse as well. Everyone here is the dark horse because I'm running out of cliches. So welcome, BeastBalla. How you doing?
I'm good.
Another man of many words. How do you think you'll do in this competition?
I'm just going for gold. That's about it.
He's going for gold. He's going out there. He's keeping his secrets close to his chest. I like it. So good luck, good sir, and all the best. So now we've got the brown square. This is probably the most foul colour in the competition. I'm sorry to say, Light Star, but bad things. Yeah, the day of the poppies grew out of the dirt after World War I. So anything can happen. Awesome things can grow from bad places. But Light Star 00, welcome to the competition. How are you doing?
Alright.
Another man of many words. These contestants, you guys need to get out your shell. Come and be trash talking. How do you think you can do in this competition?
I think I can make 0 rounds.
0 rounds. I like his style. He's keeping it quiet. He's probably going to be like that guy who comes up the outside. He's going to be a llama. Llama was saying this on the first week, and he's just going bang, comes and wins the controller. So that $100 may be yours if you keep going at it. So good luck, good sir. And now we've come to probably our first contestant to get into the top 10 here. He managed to complete an audition months ago for this competition, and he did a very impressive build. It was one of my favourite. It was a floating sort of airship, which was awesome. And he's also a member of the build team. He's recently been inducted, and I want to welcome him to the M Factor. And he's going to be representing the light grey colour in this competition. I want to welcome you, Makaz. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you, I guess. Nervous.
Nervous. I don't blame you. I was very nervous at this point last year, I must say. I'd rather be in the position I am now than your position, I'm sorry to say. But good luck and all the best. Thank you very much.
You too.
And now we're here with our final contestant, but not last but not least, our only girl of the competition, our first ever girl on the M Factor, which is pretty awesome. She's going to be representing the lime green colour, which is an awesome colour. I love this colour very much. And it is Miku Hatsune. Did I get that pronunciation right?
Miku Hatsune.
Hatsune. Okay, that's awesome. So, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. A little nervous.
A little nervous. I don't blame.
I didn't know the only girl so far.
Nah, don't worry. Don't worry. You can hold your own. Girl power and all that stuff. So, how do you think you can do in this competition?
I think I can do pretty good. I bow down only to Glitchy.
Bow down only to Glitchy, but you can't. Glitchy's merely a competition. You can't bow down to him in this. You gotta. The master will be. The Padawan will become the master. I'm telling you that. So good luck and all the best.
Thanks.
Now all the contestants are out here on the main court here. We've got all 10 contestants here across the squares here, and we're about to start. And we've just announced the theme. They've had 2 minutes to think about it, and the theme is love. That makes sense considering today is Valentine's Day, which means that none of us are getting any love, but there's some love going on today in the Minecraft world as we're doing some love creations. Should be quite an interesting thing. It's quite an open sort of scenario we've got here. So guys, what do you think about this theme? Starting with Daz.
Well, it's very appropriate. When they come to watch it, it's not going to seem very appropriate because it's like a week old. But for us right now, it's very appropriate. I think there's a lot they can do with it. It just depends how they're going to kind of decipher the word love.
And I mean, since Sylvia didn't know it was love until all of 2 minutes ago, what do you think this is going to be like, Sylvia?
I think we're going to have a lot of love hearts, or in the case of Glitchy, a love heart in steampunk style. But I think these guys can pull something out of the hat and produce something really good for Valentine's Day.
And I think we better ask Bru as well. Bru, what do you think this is going to be?
For me, love can be many things. You know, it could be the love of a game, could be the love of a heart, could be anything. But you know, we'll get to see. But last year we've seen quite a lot of things and similar sort of ideas. So I'm guessing this time around we'll see a lot of similar builds of the same idea. So
awesome. So I think it's ready to get them going. Sylvia, are you ready with the countdown?
I am indeed.
Okay, so we're going to go on 3, 2, 1, and go. And they should be off any minute now.
We are rocking.
And they are building.
They're building.
So
Right,
Yes.
This is always the worst. This is always the worst part of the competition because everyone starts and you're like, oh, what are they building? What are they building? And it's probably the worst part of it.
I think.
Can you believe though, mate? We're in season 2 now, mate. We're going again.
Yeah, it's madness, isn't it?
Absolutely incredible. I think we should just go through the squares and just reintroduce the different contestants. We'll start off with the orange square, where we have BSG87. In the dark green square, we have Damien TGE 97. Light blue square, we have Tidmouth Milk 12. Dark grey, we've got Sporge 1. Pink, we got Glitchy Cooper 23. Purple, we got CloudStyles. Cyan, we got BeastBalla. Brown, we got Lightstar 00. Light grey, we got Makaz. And light green, we got Miku Hatsune. So that is all the contestants. I mean, what do you think we're going to see? I mean, there's going to be some awesome stuff here, and it is season 2. Oh, I'm really excited. Are you guys?
I am actually, yeah. Like, I mean, because I remember last season, the guys, including yourself, Pete, pulled out some great builds. I'm just excited to see what these guys can do this year.
I mean, we're already seeing a lot of love hearts coming out here, but I think it makes sense to put our judgments down, putting down the marker. Who do we think is got a chance of winning this competition? I'm going to start off with Bru. Bru, who do you think might have a chance here?
Right now, I don't know, because early days. I mean, it's probably going to be week 3 or 4 yet before I sort of like have my money on, you know, because season 1, a lot of people at the game didn't take it that serious because obviously, you know, llama, hands down, you know, we thought, no way, you know. But it's all about being creative, you know. It's like it's not really all about being how good you are at building, because at the end of the day, you know, you've got that limited time to build. Yeah, you've got to think about what you're going to build, you know. And a lot of that can sort of like defeat that and pressure, you know, as you know, Pete, you know. So right now, it's anybody's game.
Yeah, and I mean, Sylvia, I'll ask you the same question. Do you have any ideas who could win this?
I know a few of the guys in. I know a few of the guys in the competition here from playing on the server with them. I know them pretty well. I know what their building capabilities are like. So my money would probably go on. You know, I can't even say because I don't want to sound like I'm being, oh, he's a better builder than you. You know what I mean? But I have seen how Glitchy builds. He's a really great builder. I've seen Tidmouth. Tidmouth can put together a build in no time at all. And even Miku, she's a really, really good builder.
I mean, probably M-Cause as well. He's a cracking builder himself as well. So there's 4 or 5 guys in there, you know, that have potentially got what it takes to be the Season 2 winner, you know. But, you know, there could be a dark horse amongst these guys, you know. You just don't know.
Yeah, that's what we're hopeful for, really. I mean, some of these guys are renowned builders, but some of them we don't know. Like BSG 87, I've never seen him build. Whereas the Glitchy Creepers of this world, we've all seen build his lovely, brilliant houses and things. So, Daz, I mean, I guess you asked you the same question. You should know most of these people, considering you're the manager of YeouschCraft.
Can I just state that we have no one in the grey square? If no one's actually noticed that.
Nobody in the grey square?
It's not even started.
Yeah, they have. They've all started.
Yeah,
What?
they've all started.
Why can I not see? Okay. Oh, will you leave me alone? I've been.
Were you standing down here looking around like,
I
where
was-
is he? Oh, Daz.
Honestly, I was looking down here and there was like no one here. And hello.
Poor Daz.
I honestly do not want to name any names. I don't want to show any favoritism to anyone.
And purple square, we've got CloudStyles. I like the roses.
So do I. That's my favourite so far.
But we do have a lot of hearts going around.
I'm liking the light blue square. Is that Tidmouth? I know it's technically pixel arty, but it has that nice little touch to it. I like it.
Yeah, I think the danger was, I think a lot of them being quite narrow-minded with their choices. I mean, you could have really gone into any sort of love, not just the sort of stereotypical, quite commercial love.
Your love for pizza.
The love for pizza, you could
Yeah,
draw it.
exactly.
But I think they've got Valentine's Day stuck in their head, so it's kind of just rubbed off in the builds.
Or McDonald's, Pete.
Oh, McDonald's. Thanks. This arena is sponsored by McDonald's, as you can see by the many M Factor logos. But we got some. It has too many hearts for my liking. Too many
Well,
hearts.
Glitchy Creeper seems to be doing some sort of wedding themed.
I think the biggest problem that you've got is obviously it's anybody's. You know, it's like, for example, you say love, and the first thing that comes to mind is always a heart, is it? So
yeah.
I'm seeing like there's a lot of hearts that have arrows going through them. I'm looking at BSGs here. He did kind of start adding a second layer onto it now to make it look 3D. He still has a lot more time, and he can still do a hell of a lot more to it.
Tidmouth, I like him. The light blue. It's his is coming on. I like that. I like that as well. But for me right now, it's the roses. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah.
We've obviously got a group of optimistic builders here, because there's not one broken heart in all of this sequence of builds, which is they've all obviously had quite good love lives up to this point, or no love lives whatsoever. We don't know.
And I have to say as well, the light grey.
Light grey, that is Macaz.
Oh, Macaz, that is good. I like that now.
If he can sort of round it off.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
You forget how small these squares are. Like last things we saw were these huge squares you had in the final, but these are actually quite small spaces, and it's quite hard to get a decent build into this size. And it'll be interesting to see how they adapt, because many of them are used to building these huge things. So now we're going to sort of describe the points process and how it all works. We've got 10 builders here. That's 9 weeks, so 9 builds they'll have to do, in theory, at the least. And basically, the idea is that we're going to go around each build at the end, and our 3 judges, Daz on YouTube, TheSilviaKid, and TheMightyBru, are going to give each build a rating out of 10, which means that each builder will have a rating out of 30, because we accumulate all these figures, and the people with the 2 lowest scores go into a build-off, which will be slightly different. There will be no theme for the build-off, and they'll have 10 minutes to build, so even less time. but they'll get to build anything they want. And this will be the same for every week up until the semi-final. Then for the final, we'll have something different going on. We don't quite know what that is yet, but it should be similar. Very easy, very simple idea. Each week we may have guest judges who come in, and that may mean they get a score out of 40 instead of a score out of 30. But it's very simple, very easy. If you have any questions, always leave them below. We'll always answer them for you. So, I mean, these builds are getting along now. So, Daz, what's catching your eye at the moment?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm with the crowd at the moment. Do you want me to come back?
Feel free. Who's in the crowd? Who's in the crowd?
We have London Dude, Fat Controller, Rose Card, Travel Man. Oops, someone just walked through me. Nikki, Cookie Lover. There's loads of people today.
Cookie Lover.
Oh, there's my Sneaky. I'm not going to say your second name. Oh, I'm coming back.
If you press the tab button, you will actually see how many people are on the server, and the server is hopping out of it tonight.
I have to say as well, through the time that you have, obviously, from the start to finish, the builds now are just looking a lot better now, you know, they're looking really cool now. I mean, that Love Heart to far end with the yellow in it looks pretty cool now.
It is, yeah. I'm liking the one in the... Hang on, let's see what colours. The dark grey.
Dark grey.
Sporge.
Yeah.
He's the only one I've seen to have taken the beacon effect.
I mean, the worst thing that Timoth did was put a wall.
Yeah,
that's just silly. But he should have left it the way it was before, and he added a wall, just made it completely.
He's trying to make as much use of the area. We always said this thing where it's nice to do a good build, but you want to try and use as much of the area up as you can, and I think he's just trying to do that.
Or you just cheat and use water. That's what I used to do.
I mean, even Miku, even her one, you know, how she's captivated, obviously, the pink blocks, and then added the glass in as well, you know, it just gives that sort of, like, a different effect, you know. I like that as well.
And it just adds another dynamic that wasn't in the first series. The new blocks, the stained glass windows are beautiful. I love using them personally. And it's awesome that they're being used here. Like,
check out the wings on the Cupid.
And
let me come over here and have a look at this.
Stained glass windows in all their glory. And they're pretty believable wings, to be honest.
It's actually a really good idea to use the stained glass for that.
Miku's pulled it off there. Like, that's pretty. I like that.
I think they just need to make sure they're using all of the square, because I don't really like seeing iron blocks left over, to be honest. I think it's just doesn't really go with the build if you're going for it to build.
Nothing wrong with iron and quartz. I love
Be quiet, Daz. So we've just lost Daz for the second there. I think he might have had a power cut. We've had really bad weather in the UK. If he isn't back by the end, Jimbo Slice, our man, the cameraman, is going to be the third judge in this competition. Very simple, very easy. Jimbo is a very knowledgeable builder and a very knowledgeable Minecrafter and very believable and a good guy. So Jimbo is going to help us out there if Daz has any problems. But at the moment, it's just Brew, Sylvia, and I in here. But it's no problem. We can hold down the fort without Daz here. Yes. In fact, we can do things that we couldn't do when he wasn't here. So just think of it like that. Cyan is picking up here. Who's this? BeastBalla. I'm liking the look at this.
I am definitely liking the look of this. This is a really decent build. It's like a little sort of
chapel.
It's sort of like a domed out wedding chapel. I really like that. I like the use of the stained clay blocks.
You know what, Sylvia? I think this season's going to be hard.
Yeah, there is. I mean, last season everyone was a talent. Everyone was a talented builder, but it did shine through who could go the distance at the very beginning. But this week I'm kind of stumped. Everyone seems to be sort of pulling out a really, really good build.
And you know what else seems really interesting as well? It's like they've all carried out the same sort of theme, but every single build's different.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it.
I agree. I mean, you're seeing the roses are looking incredible. And the glitches is coming to form now with the sort of wedding procession thing going on here.
The outdoors wedding, I was going to say that he's done a really good job here so far.
It's like that scene at the end of Star Wars. With pumpkins. I mean, it's just looking... Oh, I'm just so glad to be back. It was my favourite thing last year. One of my favourite things in video gaming. And it's a brilliant idea by you guys. The Manic Miners, the TheSilviaKid and the TheMightyBru did come up with the idea of the M Factor. And it is awesome. And it really has paid dividends to just sort of I mean, $100 they could win there tonight, maybe more. Daz has hinted that he might increase the money involved, and I mean, $100 is a lot of money. That's about £75 for you British guys, I think, roughly. I don't know.
Yeah, it's about £60.
Yeah,
60, £70. But on top of it, at the end, it's a brand new game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, brand new game, a new bike maybe, and you sort of anything that you want to spend on.
Yeah.
Or you could donate it to the YeouschCraft server and get yourself VIP.
Get yourself VIP. I mean, going back to what you said, Pete, about the M Factor thing. You know, it's you got two guys playing Minecraft. You know, and obviously Sylvia and I, you know, went into gaming stuff quite often. You know, I mean, apart from playing Minecraft, we'd always, you know, when we got partnered from Youch back in the day, we always said to each other, you know, what can we give back? You know, what can we do to sort of like make something interesting, and can we think of any game shows and stuff, you know? And then one night we were just sitting messing about, and you know, and we're talking about the actual X Factor.
Yeah,
and we both said, you know, wouldn't it be great if we had some sort of idea like that, but in Minecraft? And then that was it. We just both clicked and thought, you know what? What about a building game? What should we call it? Oh, the M Factor. That's it.
Yeah. I know exactly what it was. It was Bru's wife was actually watching the X Factor.
Yeah, that's right.
And it got us talking about it's like could it work as a Minecraft show? Because we knew at the time Daz was looking for another show for YeouschCraft after the Olympics 2 years ago. So it just came to be like that, you know. It was me and Bru just thought up the idea in about 10 minutes, and then we put it into action.
Yeah, and here we are now.
I know.
Season 2.
Season 2. Wow. Yeah.
And I mean, by the end, season 1 was getting quite successful. I mean, we had some big guys on here. We had likes of World Goon Squad, people like that coming to watch, and it was just awesome. And we had like Chaos Silence who even came on for the auditions a few months ago. It's just a nice community thing, isn't it? The people on it are regulars on the server, the people watching are regulars on the server, and hopefully we can gain your support on the server. So feel free to come on. The server IP is YeouschCraft.com. We haven't just got the M Factor server, we've got survival, got a prison server being built, we've got a theme park, got creative server, hardcore server, mini games, hide and seek, infected. The list is endless. And if you have any ideas, feel free to put them in and we'll get it done. We've got the YeouschCraft build team, which you guys can join on the YeouschCraft forums, YeouschCraft.com. There's a bit of cheesy plug-in for you.
What's the time, Sylvia?
We are down to 8 minutes.
Okay.
That time really flies.
Maybe somebody could pop that into the chat for the guys.
Yeah, I'm doing it now. There's always that unknown builder out there who gets his chance to show what he can do. It's like Llama at the beginning of that competition, and that bloody toilet that he did. None of us ever expected him to go on and win it, but he did pull it out. Do you know what I mean? It gives people that chance to show what they can do, and that's why I love this show.
Well, that's it as well. You know, it only takes one big guy out there, you know, that loves Minecraft. He's a big base channel, just to watch our video and watch what we're doing, you know, and watch what we love to play as they do, to sort of spread the word, you know. You know, we're doing something here that we all enjoy and we all love, you know, whether we're big, small, or whatever, you know. We're all in the same community, you know, so.
And the amount of planning and building and preparation for this has been huge. I mean, you guys have been planning for months for this. You've been planning auditions, you've been planning ideas, you've been planning themes, and just getting it all together, getting all the contestants, getting all the forum posts. It takes a lot of time, guys. And we're doing this for the love of it, to be brutally honest. We're getting paid nothing out of this. And, I mean, even building this stadium, it's a similar, but it's just a variation of the old one. But that took me some time, and it's all paid off, and we're here today. And
well, that was it. I mean, building the foundations of this show in season 1 to get it to where we wanted it to be. You know, we always hoped that season 2 would be less sort of, you know, painstaking and getting it all organised. You know, but don't get me wrong. You know, the first show, you know, it always goes with a bang, and there's always flaws and stuff. You know, but as the weeks go by and the contestants start to leave, it just becomes more smoother, more organised, and you know,
builds get better.
Yeah, the builds get better, and it's more competitive, you know. So,
how long have we got left? 5 minutes left, guys. 5-minute warning. It's getting there, and a lot of these guys still haven't used the space, which is in week 1. If you can't use the space here, how are you going to do when the squares get bigger? I know the time will get longer, but the squares will get bigger, and you're going to have to fill them. And so far, I think Cyan is the dark horse here. Cyan, which is BeastBalla. I think this is quite a nice build turning out here.
Yeah, he's definitely. He's one of the unknown. I mean, as I said, I know a fair few people in this competition, but BeastBalla is unknown to me. I only ever seen his audition build, but this is really awesome. I like this.
I mean, Glitchy sort of went in another direction. I think he's the only one out of everyone that's doing something completely different.
Yes. Yeah. But I feel it's not very. He seemed to be keeping his cards close to his chest here. I don't think he's gone all out for this build so far, anyway. Unless he's going to suddenly add something huge. But it's quite minimalistic in sense. But it's nice and detailed. I love the steps for the sort of walkway.
That's what I've always said. The M factor is just mind blowing, because you could be the best builder in the complete world, and not being able to show your true capabilities is hard. You know, I mean. So Glitchy's maybe panicked, and we've always said this before, even in season 1. When that panic sets in, you know, time goes by because you're thinking and thinking and thinking, and it's better to take your time and know what you're going to build rather than just put something together, because it's a matter of being in the next week or out the next week. So.
Yes, yeah, and I think Daz is back online, so he should be back in the call soon enough. But it's
competition heating up this season, guys. It's going to be really, really tough, and right now, you know, it's anybody's game.
We've got 10 of the best builders in the community here, and 4 of these guys are in the YeouschCraft build team, but I can't tell the difference, to be honest.
I have to say, I mean, Miku's is looking really. I mean, the word I can come up with right now for her one is really cute.
Yes, I think she's.
It's totally girlish. It's, you know, the only girl in the actual show. It looks really girlish. It's everything about her, you know. And I like it.
She's just doing her thing over here. I mean, you're the only girl. You got to hold your own, I guess. And in a very male-dominated world, which is Minecraft. I don't know, but there's in this sense. And people are just moaning in the chat. Why can't you come on, behave?
I know. Yeah. The worst part about it is that they're all grown adults arguing with each other.
Well,
and I'm back.
And
hey, Daz. Welcome back.
How much time we got, Sylvia?
How much time have we got? We've got 2.5 minutes. So I'm just gonna
bin through window. Death by bin through window.
And if this goes out next Saturday, Daz's house might have fallen down by then. So.
Daz's house is washed off into the sea.
Yes.
Wheelie bin through the window.
Week 2 theme, build Daz a house.
I think someone's trying to get some love points down here. CloudStyles, I'm a bit disappointed he seems to have stopped. I don't know. He just seems to have... He's sort of given up.
One minute it was looking like a heart thing. Now it's looking like a castle now, you know, so...
Yes, this is Tidmouth over here, isn't it? And it's very nice looking. I think he's gone all out with the castle. Like, in the small space, I think he just needs to mix the blocks up a bit more, though. There's too much stone brick going on there, I think.
CloudStyles has tried to appeal to our owner of YeouschCraft down here on his build. If the camera wants to go down and have a look at the signs.
Which one are we going to? I can't see.
We can't have
purple.
We're in the 1 minute warning.
We are 1 minute.
Get ready to do a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But these guys are better rush now. 1 minute left. This is where it really starts to kick in. This is where you're like, wait a minute. I've not finished this properally.
We need dramatic music going on here.
Yeah, you need some.
They do.
That's when it comes on right about now.
And if you didn't know, Bru was editing this, so he's just left himself a cheeky little moment too.
And he can look even funnier if he doesn't put it in there.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to get an Oscar for this show.
You can just see him writing down a notepad. Remember to put cheeky music in.
Cheeky music. We are coming right to the end now. These guys, their arms are probably aching. Everything's aching. Their head's hurting. But the best bit is when you finish and you get to explain your builds to the lovely people sat in this call right now. Hopefully they're more talkative than when we first spoke to them. But who knows?
I like
people's personalities.
I mean, my two favourites right now is Beast's and Miku's.
And time is up. So now we've got to the point now, the time is up, they've done their builds, and now they must explain them. They must come to the cameras and tell us all what they built today. The theme was love, of course, guys. And we've got our first contestant. He's representing the orange square. It is BSG87. So how did you think that went? Your first experience on the M Factor, how did it go?
Terrible.
Terrible. I mean, it's a lot of pressure, isn't it? But it's
strange. I just hit a complete blank. It's like one of the easiest things you could suggest, and yet mind blank gone.
Tell me about it. I know that feeling too well indeed. So do you want to just briefly explain your build, the sort of key features and all that good stuff, please?
Well, it's pretty self-explanatory, to be honest. It's a love heart. I was originally going to try and build a Cupid, but I made a start on that, then realised that 20 minutes to build a big detailed Cupid is not enough time. So I simplified it. Love heart, good old fashioned arrow through the middle of it, and then decided that I kind of needed something else because it was looking a bit bland compared to everything else in the background. So I tried my best to make some like champagne wine glasses kind of thing.
Oh, okay, that's quite cool. I was trying to realise what these were, and they're
quite difficult to understand unless I actually tell you, I'm guessing.
That's the wonder of the explanation process, and it's a really nice build. It's a nice quirky little thing, and well done. We'll see what the judges think.
I tried my best.
So we're here with the judges. We've got our 3 judges here. Well, 2 of the 3. Daz has lost his power again, so Jimbo is going to be voting for him instead. But we might as well start off with the Mighty Brew. Mighty Brew, what do you think about this build, and what are you going to score it out of 10?
The first week's always really tough, you know. Fair play to the guys for coming on and doing what they did, you know. Some excellent builds today, you know, in the 25 minutes they get. And like you said, you know, it's self-explanatory. It's a heart. I'm guessing it's a heart with an arrow through it, you know. So I like it, you know. It's you know, there could have been a bit more space used up, you know, and but apart from that, you know, it's a heart. So 5 for me. 5.
Let me just note that down. And Sylvia, what do you want to give this build?
I'm in agreement with Brew. I mean, it is the first week. You have to have that time to find your feet, as they say. I can only, if he stays in the competition, I can only think that his builds are going to get better. If I look at it compared to everything around it, it is kind of small and plainish towards everything else. So I'm probably going to go with about the same as Brew, a 5 on this one.
5. So since Daz is not here, as we said, Jimbo is going to vote for vote instead of Daz. So Jimbo, what are your thoughts about this build, and what would you like to score it?
Now, like they were saying, the time is definitely something you have to consider here. It's very hard to come up with an idea and then fit that idea into the time slot you have. I think he was a little ambitious with the Cupid he said that he wanted to do, but I'm glad he didn't, because we already have another Cupid, and then we would just be comparing those 2 builds. With what he has here, I definitely like the wine glasses he added as a last-minute touch. It definitely helps spark up the build. I'm gonna have to agree with Brew and Sylvia though. I'm gonna give it a 5.
A 5. So we've got a clean sweep of 5. That means he's got 15 out of 30. That is BSG87 has got 15 out of 30. So let's move on to the next build. So we're here with our second build of the day in the dark green square. We've got Damien97. I'm going to give up on pronunciation by this time of the night. Welcome, and how did you think that went?
I think it's pretty good. Yeah.
I mean, you got a nice build here. Do you want to just take us through the key features and what you think of the good bits? Sort of explaining what as you go along.
Okay, yeah. I was taking on normally. I want to have the heart with the arrow in it, but it was a bit lame, and yeah.
Fair enough.
Then I built the rest on it.
Yeah.
Always, well, it's a bit lame.
It's good. It's a good build. I think it's really is a. The beacons add a nice touch, and I really do like the variation in colours. Is really awesome. So thank you very much, and well done for your first time. And let's see what the judges think. Thank you.
Yeah.
So now we get to the voting on the second square. So we're going to start off. Who did I start off with last time? I think I started off with Bruce. I'll start off with Sylvia this time. Sylvia, what are your thoughts on this build, and what are you going to score it out of 10?
I like this build. As I predicted at the beginning, I thought we were going to see a ton of love hearts, but they've all kind of proved me wrong and done a love heart with some sort of variation onto it. So I really do like this build. I love the use of colors, the use of the stained glass and the glowstone, and the beacons at the back are just an extra touch. As you know from Series 1, Pete, we love the beacons here on the M Factor.
Love the beacons.
So I think I'm going to give this one a nice score of 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. That's quite a fair score from Sylvia there, quite high. So, Brute, what are you going to give this build?
For me personally, you know, it's I look at it and it sort of takes away what it originally is. I mean, the first guy we interviewed, you know, it's a heart, but this time around, you know, with adding all the different colours and stuff, to me, it doesn't look like a heart anymore. It sort of like looks like just blocks built of, you know, you can still tell it's a heart, but a bit disappointing, you know. It's just not my cup of tea. Unfortunately, this one for me it's a 4, I'm afraid.
A 4? Wow. It's a moment of Brew is not liking this build. So I think now, since Daz still isn't here, we're going to go to my man Jimbo. Jimbo, what are you going to give this build out of 10, and what are your thoughts?
I definitely like this one. It definitely used a nice bit of color to it, and I like that. Well, I don't know if he intentionally did this, but he played on with the iron blocks, and he went with diamond, gold, and emerald, which are all part of the same, I guess you could say, family of blocks. And he incorporated those in there, used a lot of color. But like Bruce said, with all the stuff he added around it, it takes away from the heart. You still know it's a heart, but it takes away from it. So with all that said, I'm going to give him a 6.
6. So that comes together to make 17 out of 30. That puts me in first place, barring any other entries and any other higher scores. Okay, so now we're onto our third square, light blue here. Bob the Builder, aka Tidmouth Milk 12. How do you think your first round in the M Factor went, good sir?
I think it probably could have gone better than it did. I mean, to start with, I built a thing and then I suddenly realised it was pixel art, so I had to quickly change it to something else.
The unwritten rule of the M Factor, don't do pixel art. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we did start off seeing your heart. We thought it looked quite good, to be fair, which is slightly ironic. But then when you started to put this brick wall around it, and we're starting to think, oh, wait a minute, what's this turning into? And what do you sort of think? What are your what are the key parts of this build? Do you want to sort of take me on a tour and the best bits of your build, please?
Well, the pictures that are on both sides, there's the heart and then there's the shield. These are references to the SilviaKid's favourite television programme, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic.
He's got a valid point there.
Fun boy.
It's my son that likes My Little Pony, not me.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So, I mean, is there anything else you want to say?
No, I think that's good.
I really do like the torches down here. That's one thing I'd say. But other than that, great build. Thank you very much, and I hope you've enjoyed your first round of the M Factor.
Thank you.
And now we get to the judging here, where we've got the Tidmouth Milks build, and we're going to start off with Jimbo this time. Jimbo, what do you want to score this build, and what are your thoughts?
Okay, well, I definitely like that he used pretty much the whole area of it, and he even laid down a different block to cover the iron block, which is definitely good, because, I mean, we don't want to see those iron blocks. He went with something that doesn't scream love to me, but at the same time, I mean, he did include the heart, and to each their own. I like his including of Tower of Pimps. That's a good reference there. I love them. So that's going to earn him some extra brownie points. But still, I like the build. I'm going to have to give him a 6.
A 6. So on par with your highest score in the last build. So we'll move on to Sylvia next. What are your thoughts, and what do you want to give this build? I just want to point out that these don't look very finished, these turrets. The one on the left, just a small point, but yeah, carry on.
Well, I'll be honest with you. When we came to the end of this build, I looked at Tidmouth and I was severely disappointed. I know what Tidmouth's capable of, and yeah, it has the love heart, but does it really scream the theme love, if you know what I mean? It looks like a castle that just has a love heart on the front of it, you know? I expected more from him, you know what I mean? There is other builds here that have incorporated the love theme completely, and the only part that shows love on this is actually pixel art. Do you know what I mean? So I'm sorry, Tidmouth. I know you're probably gonna hate me for this, but I'm gonna have to give you a 4 on this one.
4. That's Sylvia's lowest score so far. What about you, Brew?
Watching Tidmouth build this to begin with was in the right direction, because before he put the wall up, you know, I thought, wow, this is going to be something pretty awesome, you know. But what he thought about adding the castle in and the wall just changed the whole dimension of this build, and he probably knows that himself now, you know. And Sylvia's absolutely right, you know. We all know Tid, you know, we all know his capabilities, but at the end of the day, you know, even somebody that can't build but's got creativeness, you know what I mean, could produce something better than this, you know. So I'm on the same with Sylvia, but I'm going to give him a little bit more and go with 5.
5. So that is 15 out of 30. He's joined with BSG. Okay. So now we get to our sort of old man of the group here. This is the he's got lots of experience in this field. I was going to ask him what's it like doing your first round, but this must be one of your many rounds you've got in this tournament. So do you want to just explain what you've built for us today here, and take us around the key parts of the build?
Well, the first thing when I heard was love, I was thinking about well, hearts.
Yep.
Of course, and well, gardens for some reason. So I combined that, and well, I came up with this a sort of heart garden.
Simple and easy.
Yeah, I've made a beacon, and I've got the idea of making a beacon heart in the middle and making it spew out water for some reason, and yeah, well, make a sort of garden.
It's very nice indeed.
Love garden.
It's an awesome garden, I must say. So thank you very much, and good luck. We're going to go to the judges' deliberations now.
Okay, thanks.
So now we get to the judges' deliberations, where they come to the conclusions for Sporge's build. So we'll start off with the Mighty Brew. What are your thoughts, and what are you scoring this build?
Well, Spores was on last season. I can't remember exactly where he came in last season, but I think he was in the last 6 anyway. But I like this, you know. It's very creative. How he's brought in the garden and the hearts and together, you know. Probably the best one so far that we've looked at over the last either 3 guys. You know, it's got the heart, the gardens, how he's brought in the tinted, the pink glass and stuff, you know, all these new blocks that are cooperating into the new version of Minecraft now. I like it, you know, and yeah, I'm going to give him a 7.
A 7. That's a pretty high score from Brew there. It's high score so far. So now we move on to Sylvia.
Yeah, as Brew was saying, Sport is from last season, so he should have the experience, and he definitely has shown it in this build. This is one of my favorite builds so far. Well, actually, sorry, not so far. It's one of my favorite builds today from what I've seen. In 25 minutes to produce sort of what looks like a 4-way heart with the beacon in the middle and the garden. There's so much detail gone into it in 25 minutes. I have to give him mad props. So I'm going to go with an 8 on this one for
8. That is a very high score from the TheSilviaKid there. High score so far from him. And Jimbo, what is your score?
I definitely love this one as well. Definitely, like Sylvia said, one of my favorites for today. He definitely used the heart, and he pretty much centralized it to centralize the theme. Gardens are like something lovely, and especially incorporated roses. Nice detail everywhere. I'm going to agree with Sylvia and give him an 8.
An 8. So that is 16, and then that's 23 out of 30, which is awesome. High score so far. Sporge goes into first place. Glitchy, how do you feel after your first attempt at the M Factor?
Bad, I guess.
Bad. Wow, that's not what we're expecting from what is quite an experienced builder here. So, do you want to take us around the build and sort of explain why you found it so hard?
We have a tree here. I don't even want to look at that.
Fair enough.
If I did a decent one, it would took me the whole 25 minutes. So.
Yeah. I've seen your trees; they are very good. But this is part of the game. Do you want to explain a bit more?
It's basically a wedding venue, but I think you already guessed that.
Yep.
We've got Sylvia here, spelled the proper way. And we've got Bob on the other side.
Bob.
I'm not sure, really. That's all
Well,
there
it's,
is to
it's a
it.
very nice build. It's awesome. Like I think you're underrating yourself here. I like the detail you put in, especially with the staircases. So we wish you the best of luck, and we'll go to the judges' decisions. So now we get to the judges' deliberations on Glitchy Creeper's build. He didn't sound very happy there, but do you guys agree with him here? Starting off with the Mighty Brew, what are your thoughts and score?
Well, first of all, I'm not too sure about Sylvia and Bob here, but unfortunately for me, Glitchy, it's a no-no, I'm afraid, my friend. I've seen what you can do, bud, and whether it was the time you had or very, very disappointing, mate. You know, I know where you're going, you know, I really, really do, but I'm not going to be too bad in this, you know, because we know Glitchy's got a lot of potential to show, and I know there's going to be a lot of people wanting to see what he can do. But for me, this week, the first week for Glitchy, 5, I'm afraid.
5. Wow, that is surprising, very surprising indeed. Sylvia, what is your score?
Well, I agree with Brew. I mean, yeah, it's a wedding theme, and yes, it does build around the theme of love, but I know Glitchy's capable of so much more, and this looks just way too plain to be a Glitchy job, do you know? I've seen Glitchy build. I mean, as you said in the beginning, Pete, he's working on a spawn for the YeouschCraft server, so we know he's capable of much more than this. So I'm going to go with a little bit more and give him a 6.
6. Now, Jimbo, what do you think?
As they've all said, we know what Glitchy's capable of. I currently see him build spawn for the prison server now, and for what he did in the amount of time, he could have done a lot better. It disappointed me. It's in itself, it's a nice little detailed scene he got going on that fits love with the wedding, but I just wish he would have done more. I'm gonna probably give him a 6 as well.
A 6. So that makes him 17 out of 30. Points him in level pegging with Damien TJE 97. So let's move on to the next build. So now we move on to the purple build done by CloudStyles. Now this is quite a cool build, slightly different to the rest of them. How did you find your first ever M Factor performance?
Well, when Love was called out, I was like, oh, claptrap, what am I meant to do for this? Like, as an artist, it's, like, not my strong point at all. So, like, I just went with roses, because roses are what I got my girlfriend for Valentine's Day.
Aw, nice to see you spending your evening with her.
I had work, leave me alone.
Would you like to take us around the key bits?
Firstly, I'd done the red rose here.
Yeah.
And like I really liked it, and went to make another one and thought of like a wedding rose, the white rose symbolizing weddings. That's where the rings come into things as well. And then I thought I'd try and appeal to one of the judges by having this little thing with Daz and Stacey on it. So.
Shall I tell you, Daz is not here right now. He's lost his power, so it might be in vain. Unless you want to just say that's actually meant for Jimbo, that might make sense.
Oh yeah,
Jimbo and Stacey. I'm
Daz isn't here. We'll never know.
It's the beard, Sylvia.
Yeah,
oh my word.
That's the wonder of the interview. So thank you very much, Cloud, and well done. We'll go and see what the judges think.
Okay, thanks very much.
So that just showed what the wonders of the interview can do, because I had no idea what those gold rings were, and now I've worked it out. Now he said that. So we'll go to the judges' deliberations. We'll start off with Jimbo, please.
I like this build. I like that he went with roses, flowers, something that people didn't really do. It's easy to just lay flowers down instead of building them. So I definitely like that. Unfortunately, it's 4 little things, pretty much. He could have definitely used the space better. So it's not my favorite build. I definitely like it though. Unfortunately, you know, that sign says Daz and not me, which breaks my heart. So I'm probably just gonna give him a 5.
5. So now we go on to Sylvia. What do you think?
I actually have to disagree with Jimbo. I actually really like this build, and I liked it even more because of the way he explained it. He went into detail explaining why he used white roses and the rings and that stuff. I actually really like this build. The only thing holding it back is, as Jimbo said, it is 4 little things, and he hasn't used up the entire space. So I'm going to go for a 6 with this one.
6 and Brew.
I do like it, you know. I mean, for me personally, the only thing that I could criticise is that the 2 roses to me look a bit too flat. I mean, what he could have done was he could have raised one up so that it could have been one at one size and one at a higher size, so that they're 2 separate sizes and they're 2 different roses. But then he could have maybe added a bit more greenery as well, so that obviously it looks like the roses are actually in ground or whatever, you know, and they're blossoming, if you want to call it that. But it's an okay build. But for me, I'll probably go with a 5.
So that makes 5, 6, and a 5. That means 16 out of 30 for CloudStyles. Let's move on to the next one. So now we're on to one of the more sort of flamboyant builds, one of my favourite builds, I'd have to say, but I'm not voting for this. But we're here with BeastBalla. Do you want to? How was your first time on the M Factor first? How did you find it?
It was fun. I liked the competition.
It's a good experience, isn't it? So do you want to just sort of take us around your build, explain the important bits, and just sort of explain your build, basically?
Well, as the sign says over here, it's Beast's Heart Shrine, and it's a shrine to love.
That's pretty deep.
And yeah, it is. And then underneath this carpet has little particles coming out of it to show my love.
Is there a special person this love is aimed at?
Well, if you fly up here, you can see who this is aimed at, to the sign.
Sign, where is the sign?
Oh,
here we go. Daw. Daw.
It's such a shame he's not a judge, isn't it?
I know.
Never mind, but thank you, BeastBalla, very much, and well done. So I know what I think about this guy, but I'm not voting. So unfortunately, let's go to the judges. We'll start off with TheSilviaKid. What do you think about this build, and what is your score?
Well, I've got to say, I mean, I did say earlier on that one of the builds over there was one of my favorites of the day. This is by far my favorite. I love this build. What he's done in a small amount of time, building a dome. I know how hard a dome is. I mean, I know it's not exactly domed, but it looks what it's supposed to look like. And the carpet is just great. The way he's taken the time to actually lay carpet down carefully, make sure it looks right. I love this build. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give it a 10 out of 10.
A 10. The first 10 of the series he's got in there, first of all, TheSilviaKid. So, Brew, can you match that?
Unfortunately not, I'm afraid.
Oh,
Killjoy. For me, it's okay, but for me, he's just used 3 colours probably, maybe, the whole lot. The only biggest criticism I've got is when you walk in, I can't really see the heart, because there's too much colours going on. If I'm going to say anything, what he could have done was, he could have just used the red wool and just created the whole heart out of just the red wool, which would have maybe gave it a bit more of a dimension, as in the heart and outside. So that loses points for me, but apart from that, I'll give him a 7.
A 7 from TheMightyBru. He's been stingy with his points today. What about Jimbo, aka Daz?
Definitely one of my favorite builds, if not my favorite of today. 25 minutes and he did this. I can't wrap my head around it. I definitely couldn't do anything like this, and especially the attention to detail with the carpet. Anyone can lay down one single color, but he went ahead, he mixed it up, put it in various different spots, and it gives it a really great feel. Not to mention the whole build inside. I'm going to disagree with just the amount of colors that he used. I think they work fine together. I think the red, all the different shades and stuff he used fit. With all that being said, I'm going to give him a 9.
A 9, so that's... let me just do the maths. 26 out of 30, which is awesome. That's the highest score so far. That puts BeastBalla into a solid lead. He's got a 3-point lead over Sporge in second place, closely followed by Damien on level par with Glitchy Creeper. So let's move on to the next build. So now we're on to our 8th build. We're getting there. The brown square represented by Lightstar 00. He was quite sort of he's playing down his chances early on, but he's come out with quite a good build here. So do you want to just sort of take us through the key parts of this build?
Okay, well, when I first started my idea, I built 2 people, and yeah, and there's a heart there because they like each other.
I really do like this. It's a very original idea. Well done. So, well, thank you very much for your sort of explanation. We'll see what the judges think. Thank you. So now we're going to judge Lightstar00's build. He had it's actually quite a nice concept we got going on here. So we're going to start off with the Mighty Brew. What do you want to give this build and your thoughts, please?
I like it. It's one of my favourites so far. You know, the time that he's had, obviously, you know, build the people and stuff, and the heart looks pretty good. Obviously, you know, you can see what it is. The 2 guys, you know, love each other. You know, it's all good. Could have added a bit more in the actual blocks that are still, you know, the iron stuff, you know, but overall, yeah, it's okay. I'll give him a 6.
A 6 from the Mighty Brew. What about you, Sylvia?
Yeah, I'm in agreement actually. I quite like this one. I like the little touch he's done with the gold ring on the man and the diamond ring on the woman to obviously represent a wedding. You got your little arches here for a chapel, the little love heart up there. It could have been more with the iron, just like Bruce said. He could have added in a little bit more detail. Other than that, it's a pretty good build, so I'm going to go with a 6 on this one.
A 6, that makes it 12. And Jimbo?
I agree with both of them. It's a good build. Probably my second, just because he made people, which is pretty hard to do when you make them like this and not use pumpkins or anything, for instance. The heart definitely helps. It shows that the 2 are in love. The ring's definitely a nice touch, along with the arches that he used. The iron blocks is something I wish it wasn't here, just because it's so bright. I want it to be like, I don't know, downtoned a bit. I'm not gonna give him a 6 though, because that would make 3 6s, and we just can't do that. So I'm gonna have to bump it up and give him a 7.
A 7. So that makes, my head's being slow, 19 out of 30, which is cool. That puts him into 3rd place. Let's move on to the next one. So now we move on to the troublemaker of our contestants this year, and he can't even stand still for an interview, so God help us. He's here. He's got the light grey square. Makaz, how did your first build go?
Kind of okay, I guess.
What have you built for us today?
Cupid.
Cupid. Is there any sort of... You've done... Like, this is a really cool design. I really do like it. I like the wings. It really does go well. Is there a special someone you've made this Cupid for, or is it just a...
For Sylvia, no?
Well, possibly, no. No.
He shut that down quite quickly, didn't he? Well, thank you very much, Makaz. It's a really cool build, and we'll deliberate. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
So now we've heard from the man himself. Now we've got to hear from the judges. Starting off with Brew, making sure his mic's on. Go on, Brew.
Hey, you can hear me.
Yes, go.
Cupid, yeah. I mean, MCOS, you know, he's the little wee troublemaker, you know, but he's a nice lad. He really, really is, you know. And what he did here, you know, I like it. You know, it's something different that we haven't seen yet. You know, no love hearts about. Overall, okay build, yeah. I'll give him a 7.
A 7. Brew is stringent with his marking. Now, what about you, Jimbo?
Definitely a nice build. I like the little touch to use carpet to make like a tongue in for Cupid. He has a little quiver in the back. If you don't know what that is, that's the thing that holds arrows. The wings, definitely glass planes. Nice job on that. I'm going to go ahead and give him a 6.
A 6. That makes time for Sylvia, if he's still there.
I'm here. I've remembered to unmute my mic. Don't worry. Yeah, no. I think he did a good job building Cupid. Like, Cupid is it naturally is going to be a hard build to do. Obviously, he hasn't used the entire build square. It's still iron, but when you see something like this, it doesn't really matter. I like the way he's done the quiver, as Jimbo said, and the wings. The wings with the glass plane is a nice touch. So I'm going to go ahead and give him a 5 on this one.
A 5. That makes it 18 out of 30. I think that puts him into 4th place. So now let's move on to the final build, but last but not least, our only girl in the tournament, as I've said many times before, but that should not matter. We've got Miku here. So how did your build go? How was your first time on the M Factor?
Nerve-wracking. I was very nervous.
I know how you feel. It's not a very fun experience, but do you want to explain us your build here? What are the cool features? What are the sort of thoughts behind it? And yeah.
Well, first I wanted to just congratulate everyone else on their first day of the competition.
Sportsmanship, I like it.
Everyone did such an amazing job on their builds, and it was an honor to be competing amongst such talented people. But okay, I have to say I nearly did cartwheels when I heard the theme was love. I was like, thank goodness, because I am most definitely a girly girl. So I decided to make a pink heart with wings to represent the theme of love. To me, true love makes you feel like you're flying, and the rainbow glass represents how love is synonymous with harmony. Like how two lives collide in a colorful, multifaceted, and ever-changing union, I guess.
To be honest, that is probably the best explanation we've had so far, and probably the most sort of spiritual and philosophical. That's pretty awesome. And I never would have guessed you were a girly girl. So you learn something new every day. But thank you very much, and let's hope you do well. Let's see what the judges think. So that was probably the most spiritual and sort of eye-opening explanation we've had so far. The explanation is just as key as the build itself in some ways, but let's see what the judges thought. Let's see whether they were swayed by that awesome serenading of love and prowess. So let's go to Sylvia.
You know what? I love this build. I've seen Miku do love hearts like this on the server many a times before, and the way she explained it was really deep and kind of blew me away a little bit. And I love the way she's done the stained glass at the bottom in the style of a rainbow. It's all different colors. She's used as many different colors as she could from the stained glass, which I think is great. It kind of does fill up the space. It does represent love. I'm going to go ahead and give this one 8.
8. High score there from the TheSilviaKid. What about you, Bru?
See, this is what the M Factor is all about. Creativity, yeah? And I mean, Miku, she came out with what she said it was, and it blew me away as well, you know. But regardless of that, everything that she's put in place here, the colours, the look of it, just everything about it, man, you know. It's always a build for me that you just want to keep coming back and looking at it, because it's I love it, you know. So I'm going to give her a 9 for this one.
A 9. Bru's highest score of the day. That's surprising indeed. What about you, Jimbo?
Definitely love this build. At first glance, I just saw a heart. I couldn't make out a lot of it. I thought the rainbow was just girly girl touch. Her explanation, though, brought everything together. Wings and how that ties into her definition of true love. The rainbow to show it's for anyone out there can fall in love. Everything just brought it together. And it, just looking at it now, it's just like one of the best things I've seen. I'm going to give this one my highest mark yet, and that's a 10.
A 10, so that makes it 27 out of 30. That bumps Miku up to first place in the tournament today. So let me just work out the scores, and I'll get back to you in a second. But I think that shows how important the explanation is to your build, guys. And this is an incredible build. I really do agree. So we'll be back with you in a minute with the final scores. So the first round is over. 25 minutes have gone. The judges have deliberated. You maybe have done the maths already, but we're going to go through the final results of the first round of Season 2 of the M Factor. We're here, and it was an awesome week of love and affection. Hopefully you're feeling the love back home, wherever you're sat, wherever in the world you are. But let's go with the top 10 we've got here. Starting off in first place, where we've got Miku Hasune. My pronunciation may be crap, but she got 27 out of 30. Topping the board, doing incredibly. In second place, we got BeastBalla with 26 out of 30. Awesome build again. Third place, we got Sporge1 with 23 out of 30. In fourth place, we got Lightstar00 with 19 out of 30. Then in fifth place, we got Macaz with 18 out of 30. And then in joint sixth place, we got Damien TGE 97 with 17 out of 30, as he's joint with Glitchy Creeper with also got 17 out of 30. And then in 7th place we have CloudStyles, who got 16 out of 30. Then finally our bottom two, joint on 8th place, Tidmouth Milk 12 and BSG, both of whom got 15 out of 30. That means Tidmouth and BSG will be doing a build-off to stay in the tournament. It should be tense. Stay with us as we get onto the build-off. Let's do this. Minutes they've got to build anything they want within their square, and it can be anything. I mean, this is where it starts to get tense. This is where that $100 is slipping away slightly, and it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be very tight because they're both sort of...
Sorry, Peter, you go.
They're probably both quite shaken by their loss of the last round. But I mean, what do you guys think, being in this sort of situation?
Well, last year for me was hard alone because some of the guys that were in the bottom two, you know, it came so hard that obviously, you know, that you had strong contenders in the last two and you put one of them out, but it's the hard part of the game. It's how it is. These guys will know that. At the end of the day, we've already got a strong contestant, probably two strong contestants that are in the bottom two already, you know, battling it out, you know, and one goes, you know, it's hard.
Well, I mean, even the big shots, the so-called big guns, have struggled in this. I mean, I think everyone has struggled. It's very much surprising. I mean, even Tidmouth here is a YeouschCraft build team member, yet he's here in the bottom two in the first round. I mean, it just shows how different scenario the Impact creates in comparison to building in a free world or creative world or whatever, really, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Pete, I mean, like, you know what it's like to be in this situation. You've been here before. What's it like in the build-off?
I never actually ended up in a build-off, to be fair. I only ever ended up getting knocked out in the final round, well, in the semi-final, but it's tense. Like any sort of thing where, you know, if you make one mistake, you're stuffed. Like, you're not going to win this. You make something, you build something, you think, oh no, they've only got 10 minutes, for God's sake. Like, building something in 10 minutes, I would not be trying to fill the square. Filling the square is not an option at this moment. You've just got to build something good. But it's interesting to see what they are building. It seems BSG is going quite big, and so is Tidmouth. They're both going big. I would be going quite small if I was these guys right now.
Well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's already down to 8 minutes now, so...
I mean, it's just... And if I was going to fill the square, I'd be using water. I'd be using things like lava, water. They fill the square quick and easy, and then build something in the middle, which seems to be what Tidmouth is doing.
I think I know exactly what Tidmouth is doing. I think he's doing a pint glass of iron brew.
Yeah. He knows him too well. Or he's doing a beer. I don't know which. I think Brew likes both, to be honest. He's not fussed. And I'm thinking like Eiffel Tower or something with BSG here. It's just taking his time, I think. I don't like the iron blocks.
No, he's beating off way more than he
he's went in the wrong direction, I think, you know, and then right now, you know, I think Tidmouth's
definitely ahead.
I mean, from last season, like, there's only one person I ever seen who ever done the build-off in such a fast time, and that was Kyle Crafty. But that's because he was fighting for his spot. He knew he deserved to be there, and that's what these guys have to prove. They have to prove that they deserve to get our votes and continue on in the competition. Kyle flew through his build in the build-off last year. I think rightfully he only had 5-10 minutes at the time, and I did watch the video. From him afterwards, and he flew through the build. So that's what the guys have to prove here. They have to prove that they deserve to be here, and they can produce something in a quick time that looks good.
And I do feel that maybe Tidmouth has got an advantage here. I think he's more experienced in the sort of building field. I don't know much about BSG, but it seems Tidmouth has grabbed this by the scruff of the neck, and he's just gone and done something that's probably trying to woo the judges in a certain way. Maybe a bit. Like, he probably doesn't even need to write that's beer. But I just cannot see BSG finishing this in time. Unless he's doing a dome thing going on here. If he finishes off with a dome here, it might get a bit tight. It might get very difficult for you guys to make a decision. And, yeah.
I just can't see him if it is a dome or anything like that, I just can't see him finishing it.
I mean, domes are a very difficult thing to build. Anyone who builds will know that. And it's...
Yeah.
He's going big as well. Very big.
Exactly. I think his biggest mistake was starting off placing on the corners.
Yeah. It helps with counting and things, but it's still like it's just not very helpful. To be honest, I would hate to be in that position right now. $100 on the line.
Yeah, it is very intense. I know this build off. It is very intense and really can start to mess with your head. You get that creative block, and I don't think BSG has the creative block. I just think he's bitten off more than he can chew. Like last season with a certain mini/boat.
Yeah.
You love that mini/boat, and you know it.
Oh yeah.
If
I
anyone,
remember that.
If anyone has not seen the signs around the park, there are some. If you have some time, feel free to look for the Easter eggs I've left around the park. Some of them hint at the fact that minis are not very liked by the Scottish peoples or Irish peoples, for a matter of fact. Yeah. But I wouldn't have ended up hosting, which is an interesting thing. It's swings and roundabouts, I guess. So it's 1 o'clock in the morning here. I'm going to be up early tomorrow, but never mind. The things I do for the M Factor.
Absolutely.
It's taken a lot longer than we'd expected, but hopefully as time goes on, we get more efficient and better at it, and it's going to be awesome. I mean,
Sorry, go on, Pete. No.
What sort of things? In the next few weeks, we got some awesome themes coming up. Who do you think so far stood out in today's round?
For me, it was
Miku, BeastBalla, and Sport, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably 3 or 4 guys.
I mean, Miku's explanation is probably not the best of this series. It's probably the best of last series as well. I don't remember an explanation that good.
No,
definitely.
She captivated it pretty well.
And the passion behind it as well.
Yeah, it stole our hearts.
It was the same with certain other people were saved by the fact that they had a good explanation. For example, CloudStyles, he very much explained the fact that his roses were like to do with weddings and things. And to be honest, that probably saved him, because his build didn't seem to be as sort of filled as everyone else's. It didn't fill the area, but his explanation was good. Whereas some of the other guys, their explanations were not so good, and it didn't help them very much.
Yeah.
Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I think there was a lot of people. There was a few people here and there who were a little short of words. Glitchy being one of them. If he had wowed us over with his explanation of that wedding scene, our thoughts might have gone in a different direction. But he is a guy of very few words anyway.
Yeah. Some of the best are quiet.
You up, bro?
How long we got left?
We're at 2.5 minutes.
Okay.
2.5
I
minutes.
don't know if BFG can pull this off. Like, it's looking pretty good. Like,
I hate to point it out, but stand on this side or the other side,
Yeah,
and
it's
you'll notice a problem.
It's not all equal, unfortunately. I think
He went ahead. He messed himself up by, I think, putting this layer here at 7, and there's a 2 center, not a single center, which throws the whole thing off.
Where is it? Oh, I see.
Yeah,
that, yes.
just stand up. Yeah, you'll see it.
I admire his build. I admire his. He's going for the Eiffel Tower here.
Yeah.
To go for that in your free build round is
Fair play to him for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Play, but you've got to think about the tactics of it, and that's as much of a component as you've got a time management. It's the same with doing an exam. You've got to make sure you've got enough time to finish all the questions, and I think that's what he's letting down in this round. Personally, I don't know. You guys probably agree, I assume.
I think he knows that himself.
I think he's just trying to finish what he can.
It's very admirable that it's I would like to see what it would be like if he'd finished it and had more time. But that's the same with everyone. Everyone could.
Yeah.
It's the same way with
that's the hard part of it. Like last season, you know, it's like every week we come up with these themes. You know, some themes per week to some guys could be a strong point. You know. What BFG's building there could have been a theme one week, and that could have been a strong point, because if we got to see what he could build fully of what he's doing here, you know, it's a shame that good builders that come on end up going out pretty early in the show, but like, you know, it's just how it is, I'm afraid.
Yes, I know. And 1 minute to go. Well, under a minute now, and I think
it's 30 seconds.
I think you guys are going to have a reasonably easy decision this week, unfortunately, which is a shame. But that $100 is still on the line, and got some awesome weeks coming up. But we got to wait for your decisions and your overall sort of thoughts and conclusions to draw from this round. And I really have enjoyed being back. I hope you all have enjoyed watching, of course. 30 seconds to go. Not long now. 10 seconds to go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and they are done. So as I said, the time is up. We've got 2 builds here. We're going to start off with BSG, going with the alphabetical feel. So BSG, do you want to explain to us what you built here today, and what are your thoughts and process and all that cool stuff?
It's basically a 10-minute attempt at the Eiffel Tower, but on a really tiny version.
I mean, 10 minutes, you really have outstretched yourself here. I think that's what we were saying in the commentary. I mean, it's an awesome attempt. If you pulled it off, like, you'd be sailing through.
I kind of started out a bit too wide at the bottom for it, which has kind of thrown it all out. If I'd have done it narrower at the bottom, it probably would look a lot better.
Yeah, we're just saying that in the chat, BSG, that the fact that if you'd more time, we'd love to have seen the finished product, mate.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, if I get another chance and you choose monuments, you never know.
I'm sure that day will come. So, thank you very much. We will go to Tidmouth. Then the judges will come to their conclusion. Then we will pass on the news to yourself. So let's move on to Tidmouth. So now we move on to our second build-off contestant. He's in the Cyan Square here. It is Tidmouth building in the Bob the Builder outfit. Tidmouth, what do you want to tell us about this build? What is it? I think we can all guess, but do you want to do some explanation, please?
Well, I kind of thought I'd got off to a little bit of a bad start, so I thought the best way to try and get into the next part was to just make the judges laugh. So I built a giant beer glass, the word beer, and then I built a bar around the back.
Can I just ask, which judge were you aiming this at most?
No one in particular. I just
He's a very good answer of questions. You could be a politician. You dodged that question so well. So these have no themes, guys, of course. And thank you very much, Tidmouth. So the time is up. They've had their explanations. They've had their build time. All it is left, all their process of winning that $100 is in the judges' hands. Will they be able to stay on another week and fight for that $100? Let's see now. We're going to start off with the SilviaKid. Sylvia, what is your thoughts on these builds, and who do you think should stay on in the M Factor?
Okay, well, I'll start on BSG. It was a brave attempt, I'll say that. It was a brave attempt for 10 minutes. And as Jimbo pointed out while he was building it, he did rush through it, so it's kind of... It's off, and if you're a Minecraft builder, that's something very important, that it always has to be symmetrical. Unfortunately, it's not. Like he was a bit adventurous in choosing his build. He didn't get it finished, but it was a good attempt. I will say that. And then we go over to Tidmouth, who obviously said he was trying to make us laugh. He certainly did that anyway, with the beer and the bar, and it's called Tidmouth Tavern, and he's actually serving behind the bar here. I'm gonna have to choose Tidmouth.
Tidmouth, so it's one vote for Tidmouth, 2 more to go. We'll go to Brew next. Who are you going to vote for?
I hate this part, I really do, because we're at week 1, and it's hard because BSG, he does look like a really good builder. He does look like a guy that would be, some of the weeks, would probably pull off 10s and stuff, but it's the M factor, and the hardest part of it is you get 10 minutes to build something. So unfortunately for me, I'm sorry. Well, Tid, you've got another week, mate. You need to up your game, buddy. And the next time you get put down the last 2, your second chance might not be. So my vote goes to Tid, I'm afraid.
So that pretty much knocks BSG out, but we're going to go to Jimbo anyway and see what you would have chosen, Jimbo. Who would you choose?
I'm definitely disappointed with BSG because the fact that he wanted to try to make an Eiffel Tower in 10 minutes just shows that one, he either doesn't know time management very well, or two, he's a really good builder and he felt confident enough in himself that he'd be able to do this. Unfortunately, 10 minutes is not a lot of time, and like we were saying, he just wasn't able to get it done. Tid, on the other hand, he went with something small and he just expanded on it, which is what I think the best thing to do for these build-offs is. Start with a small idea, build it, and then just add detail on it. Like you said, he has nice detail in the bars. He made a nice pint. I mean, I don't drink, but I know certain people that do, and they definitely would love this. I'm definitely going to have to pick Tid on this one.
So that is a clean sweep for Tidmouth, and he has made a lucky escape, and he will go on to the next round. Unfortunately for BSG, he is now out, and that is the end of his chance of winning $100 in the M Factor Season 2. So as we've just found out, Tidmouth has just won the build-off here. He's made a lucky escape, as I said, but unfortunately for BSG, he is the first to fall in the race for that $100, and I'm very sorry, but the judges just didn't like your build this week, which is a shame. I think if the theme was different, you might have got 10 out of 10, as Bru was saying. So what was the bit you most enjoyed, and have you enjoyed the experience?
It's been a blast. I've had loads of fun. All the banter with all the other contestants it's been great. I mean, especially into the build-up and all the rest of it. I'm not the greatest builder in the world, but I gave it a shot. I don't think I did too bad.
No, not at all. Your first build was good. I think you were unlucky not to go through. It's all very tight. There was like 3 points in the last 5 people or something.
There were a lot of good builds out there.
Yeah.
We'll just ignore the Eiffel Tower thing because
well, it's like you've never been in that situation before to suddenly get thrown into it, and you're panicking a little bit, as everyone does.
Yeah.
I was in the same position last year, and it's just a shame, but you can come back, you can come and watch, you can be a part of it. It's awesome. It's an awesome experience. And
I'll be hanging around to see all the other contestants.
We want to thank you for being such a good sport, and I hope you've enjoyed yourself. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. Good luck to everyone else.
So now we move on to our winner of the build-off. He's a very lucky man right now. He's probably feeling quite lucky. He went for the right idea. He went for the small build, made it bigger. How do you feel, Tidmouth, with your lucky escape?
Well, I'm certainly feeling very lucky, yeah. I'm lost for words, really, to be honest.
I mean, you're in for another week. Do you think you'll be able to do much better next week and fight your way up the charts and try and do better?
Well, again, it all sort of depends on the theme. I quite like BSG's idea earlier of building sort of like a famous building or something.
Yes.
So give me an excuse to build Big Ben again.
I love building Big Ben. It's a fun thing to build. So we just want to congratulate you on getting into the next round. You'll be with the other 9 contestants now, which is awesome. And I think it's time for me to round it off now. We have had an awesome day here. We've been here for hours recording this, so we want to thank you very much. By the end of this, MightyBru will have edited an incredible sequence of video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Mine has been deadly. Next week I'll be having Dying Rock at my side, and Daz will be back because the power will be back on. But we want to thank you for watching. From myself, TheMightyBru, TheSilviaKid, and Jimbo Slice. Thank you also to Failblog for doing some recording. Do you guys want to just say goodbye? Any last words?
Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for next week again. The competition is going to get heated up even more. Lots and lots of great builders on there. Commiserations to BSG, great guy, and we just hope the guy can stick around, be on the server, and also YeouschCraft.com as well. So thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, guys, for tuning into season 2. It's been much anticipated. We've been working hard behind the scenes. This season's only going to be bigger and better than last year. I want to say a big congratulations to Tidmouth for easing his way into the second round, and unfortunately we do have to say goodbye to someone. So unfortunately, BSG, it was great having you. You're a sound chap, and thank you for joining in on the competition.
So I think that rounds it off then, guys. I want to thank you all for watching. Hard luck to BSG. Word on to Miku and the other guys who have got through into the next round. We'll be back next week, Friday night. You can come and watch, or you can watch it the week after on the Saturday. This episode goes up on the Saturday. That's when you'll be watching it. So I want to thank you all for watching. Rate the video, check all our channels out, check all our Twitters out to stay up to date with all the M Factor information. And I want to thank you all for watching. And remember, the sun is rising, so keep on surviving. Goodbye.